Hello, we have a fourth line day, and gate 14 in line 4 is called security. So the fourth line, it's very fixed in its need to externalize the power, to externalize the capacity to be able to accumulate and control. The 14th gate may not be aware. The sacral is a motor, it's not an awareness center after all, but it will change the direction just out of the very nature of the energy. Remember the distinction between the vegetarian and the carnivore, pushing you in different directions because of the physical experience of life, shopping in different places and so on. When you come to the fourth line, you come to the first possibility to be able to go across the channel, to recognize that one has to deal with the other side, that there is actually a driver. And there's a skill involved here. Being able to fix your power and show it on the outside. The fourth line is always about being one directional, being focused, being fixed. It is taking an aspect out of the foundation of its nature and it's fixing it. The lifetime learning says the concentration on establishing a strong foundation. The freak, our individuals, they can only be protected if they have enough financial resources. The individual is the outsider, and they are not going to be able to have a solid foundation to bring out their mutation unless they have a financial basis that is secure, a power base that is secure. This is very important for the individual to grasp. The collective in its sharing and the tribe in its support, they give a different kind of social nurturing that you cannot and do not find in the individual circuit. So the individual has to make sure that they can take care of business. They have to have this strong base, this foundation to operate from. Otherwise, their mutation will not work. It won't spread. It cannot spread. The exaltation says protection from assault. The key to power lies in developing skills to ensure a strong foundation. These are people that project out their power in a very fixed way. It's very difficult to take these people away from that because this is their thing. They're so fixed in their power, but only in one way. They can have a lot of power focused in one direction and be enormously weak all over the place. It's a very important thing to understand really about the limitation of security. The key to power lies in developing skills to ensure a strong foundation. The skills lie in the focusing of that energy. So these people need to have a very fixed direction in life. And it's very important for them to see that the energy is being put into one thing and it is moving along, and they move along through that path, and then they can develop the skill for using that energy. But it's all there in a nice focused way. Money is an energy that can be a great protection. If you have to go to court and you don't have any money, then you're going to be less advantaged than the person who has got money and can afford really good representation. It's just the way the world works. All fourth lines are corrupt, and corrupting. They are unstable, excuse me, in the sense, I just lob them out now, I don't bother to get up anymore. They're unstable in the sense that they are a changing place, the fourth line. They are a bridge between the right angle and the left angle. They have that juxtaposition energy about them. And so one thing with them is that when the game changes, the rules change, and you can find that corruptive energy comes in. So this is the line of opportunism. Fourth lines are the opportunist, waiting for the right moment to use their power. That's their gift. And the right moment to use the power is when the foundation is secure. One of the secrets of the opportunist, of all fourth lines, really, is that if you are in a relationship that you don't want anymore, you don't leave it until you have a new one. And what that's really saying is that you must have backup. You can never afford to be in a space in between, where there's no secure foundation. All fourth lines this applies to, because if you haven't got that strong foundation, if you haven't got your backup, you're lost. You can be really lost. You go from one foundation to the next. You step from one bedroom to the next bedroom, from one job to the next job, and everything is okay, but no space in between. In the detriment, overconfidence in meeting the challenge of competition that may threaten the very basis of security. Without the proper skills, the inability to guarantee security. So this refers to gate 14, standing alone. The fourth line, it really does recognize that there is another, that there is a driver over there, but it can be overconfident because of the nature of its energy. It's the energy one, and as such will overlook the necessary human skills. But without those skills, without being able to understand how the other operates, you can't get the knowing out, and you can't make sure that you're going to stay secure. There's something about the nature of individuality to understand here. The individual needs to be able to look after themselves, as a rule, financially. They have to just take care of these things because it's really important for them. If you are in a traditional marriage, for example, the partners might need to have their own bank accounts, their own resources. It's really essential for an individual in a relationship to have their own security, to not being relying on anyone else, so that when the mutation takes place, they are protected. It's not easy for individuals, for freaks, to establish a secure foundation. It's not like they can all do that. Although if they could live out their nature, if they're living out the design, then there would be relative security always, because that's how things work. But of course, most people are not living out their design. They're not living correctly. If you don't know how to deal with the energy, if you cannot find a way of fixing that energy, you can be very easily manipulated by other people. Your energy gets pulled away. The fourth line is the beginning of the transpersonal process, and because of that, it runs into difficulties due to its fixedness. It still does not have the capacity to be embraced by the other side, because that comes with the fifth line. If you've got the 14-4, then the advice would be get a job that you really love and do it and fix your energy on it and stay with that one thing. Make it your solid foundation. So the grounding is coming from gate 8, of course, in the fourth line, which is called respect, which is the gift of naturally recognizing the contributions of others, and particularly the acknowledgement of those who lead by example. Respect and security kind of go together. Respect for the process of concentrating on establishing a secure foundation, on making sure that the skills are there for interacting with others whilst retaining your power, using it correctly. This is worthy of respect. So Venus moves into gate 38 today at 1815, the gate of the fighter in the root center, and it's more individuality. This is the fuel for the stream of intuition. And here we find deafness and stubbornness. We know this, these are individual traits. We've heard it time and again. And here there's a very stubborn nature, because the channel, the 3828, is the channel of stubbornness. It wants to find its purpose in life. It wants to find something to fight for, and it does not want to be influenced in that. If you do try to guide this fuel towards something that you want it to fight for, well, don't be surprised if they dig their heels in and refuse to budge. The moon is about to enter gate 53. It does so at 11:03 this morning, GMT. The root center gate of beginnings. This is an abstract collective format energy. It's cyclical, and it speaks to the experience of humanity to move through beginnings. and to stay with a process until the end, because that's the way a cycle works. There will be a middle somewhere along the line, but we don't often see the middle until we've been through the experience and reflected on it. And then we have gate 62. The moon moves into the gate of detail, up into the throat center. This is a logical collective circuitry. Details are necessary for us to make good, solid opinions. Opinions that can be shared and substantiated and will move through humanity, taking us forward. Always, the logical circuit wants to take us forward securely and safely. Gate 62 is the expression of the stream of understanding that starts with doubt, always in gate 63. And I didn't give you the time of gate 62. Let me look it up because I don't remember it off the top of my head. And who's 62 is at 21:03 GMT. And the final moon gate is gate 56 at 7:13 tomorrow morning. And it's the mirror opposite to the 62, which means it's also a throat gate and it's also a collective gate, but it's abstract this time and not logical. It's not interested in facts and details. It likes ideas. It can take an idea and it can weave it into a stimulating story in order to entertain the collective and give them something to go ooh and ah over. This is the expression of the abstract stream of sensing. This is confusion that has been made sense of over time and can now be shared. So this is our transit for today. This is the fourth line of gate 14. I'll be back tomorrow with the fifth line, of course. So until then, I have to go feed a blackbird. I will see you then, and look after yourself. Go to